just a bit of background. My name is Brian. I'm doing business at SFU. I'm part of a student organization called Students in Free Enterprise, SIFE. And what we do is we create educational programs that have an impact on people's lives, educational programs that improve the quality of life and standard of living of people. And my role within our organization is to develop entrepreneurial programs that help students within SFU with startups. And so the need is that we have 8 faculties at SFU. If I wanted to find somebody in engineering, I'd have to play leapfrog. Or if I wanted to find someone in computing science to build my iPhone app, I need to play leapfrog. What I'm trying to do is put together a platform. It would be a combination of online and in person, where the online would kind of, it'd be kind of like a dating site or a matchmaking or a marketplace where kind of one side is ideas and one side is people or skills. People who are interested in, who want to complement their academic learning, but they don't have any ideas. So, you know, my buddy has an idea for a software application, but he doesn't know any engineers or he doesn't know computing science. So the website would serve as a forum, would serve as a marketplace for that. And then there would be in-person, kind of like this, pretty much like these kinds of events. Either bring in a speaker or do Ideakick at SFU. That is the idea. Imagine you guys go back to your college days and you want to do a startup. You know, it's about finding the right team. It really boils down to finding the right people to do what you want to do with, and whether you have the right skill set, whether you have the right personality. And so I'm just kind of looking for feedback on. Yes, Mina.
I love it, brilliant. I'm glad it didn't happen during my years. I would have not finished school. But I'm wondering, because I did start my business when I was in high school, and one of the challenges when someone is younger, how do you educate them with your content? When it comes to like, oh, let's start working on something cool, and then something cool became really cool.
Right.
But it's probably a 17, 16-year-old kid in engineering computer science that can hack something together like this. So how do I, or if I were there, how would I protect myself entering into this marketplace of imagine? No, you haven't thought about it yet.
No, I haven't really thought about that yet. I mean, all like the typical steps that you would take when you start a business. You know, if you have the idea, you find the person, you agree you want to work on this thing, then you develop a contract with who owns what, how far it's going to take, what kind of.
It's like Mechanical Turk for universities.
Pardon me?
Have you heard of Mechanical Turk?
No.
It's the Amazon thing where you know, if you got some skills and you got a project, you can match those skills.
Right.
Kind of like that. And again, you monetize that by units of time, right?
Yeah.
How many hours you spend. But that is a problem for contracts, especially because you got to be a major to actually sign a binding contract. A lot of NDAs associated with it. Right. You know,
as soon as you finish first year, you're already a major, so you're not.
Right, but there are some legal issues there as well.
Yeah, I mean, we'd eventually crunch that out in terms of like, you know, oh, you're going to start a team, okay, sign, you know, this is the contract, figure out your own terms, come back to us, and then, you know, sign whatever.
It's a good idea, you know, but have a look at Mechanical Turk, see the way it works. It's
I'll talk to you after about that, yeah. Yes, you had your hand up before anything,
The issue is, I mean, it's a good idea, the issue is that by making it university-centered, you're limiting your marketplace enormously.
Right.
And if you look at this event, for example, it was geared in all of Vancouver, and Schwann was only able to get 40 people to come to it, of which only 30 showed up.
Right.
So if you do it to like SFU, I mean, how many people are you going to get to show up on a Friday night? Me and you.
I mean, there's a bit more to the idea that I had things like capstone classes or final projects.
Yeah.
I was in 2 entrepreneurial classes last semester, 2 ideas that as soon as the class ended, finished. Right? People can take these ideas, come to the platform to it. So, I mean, the way that the way it would work would be sustainable is that we would have nodes within different faculties. So I go talk to the director at engineering science, or I go talk to a director at business, and they would be our go-to person to go, okay, this semester what classes are happening that have projects in it, or what senior classes are people looking to get experience in. promote that, or go directly to professors and go promote our platform. Within 3 to 5 years, this is the go-to thing.
Isn't Venture Connection doing exactly that already?
Wait, ask them. No, they're not. I know that people say ask about that. Don't worry about it. I'm sure they do with the co-op. Yeah.
If you could connect, so they have co-op.
We have co-op, and then you can also get insurance from that as well.
So could you connect with those offices to possibly connect students that way?
Okay.
You're already on that, or?
No, I haven't thought about that.
Because that just is one idea.
Because there's more focus on the startup. It's hard to go into a department and go, here's a new idea, and then they'll go, no, go away.
Okay. So who you want to be able to connect people, like you've got to design something, you need an engineer, or you need
I've got a designer, I need a designer, or I need, or a lot of arts and social science students, they want to start nonprofits or social ventures, maybe. Nonprofits. So they might need business people to do marketing or help them with their plan. And so connecting, it's providing that connection. There's more to it, but this is just getting the people together first is the first component of the whole idea.
Okay.
The second and third component would eventually be ideation, which is going through this kind of process. No idea at its first stage is the best one, and so they have to go through a bunch of things to validate their idea, that kind of thing. And then the third component would be resources, providing the resources. That's like yes.
This is I don't know how valid this is. I've got some organizations that I work with in Toronto, and we're starting to get involved with some of the universities there. And these kind of ideas are great. The thing that I'm running into, or at least starting to notice, is that there's no bars on any of these doors or anything like that. Like events are taking place in these cities, and I've just seen like an overall lack of motivation actually being the problem of why people aren't connecting. Going back to our original idea of the night, like when I need an electrician to fix the light in my apartment because I had no lights in my washroom, like I didn't just let it. I mean, I went out there and I proactively found somebody. They didn't find me, and somebody didn't create a platform so that I could line up with an electrician. I went out and made it happen, right? So that's the only thing I would kind of throw in is whether another platform would actually be the answer, and whether there's just not enough need on behalf of the students to make.
You got to throw in money in there in the mix somehow. That is a big driver for motivation. So if you're gonna connect these two people who have skills and who need skills, there has to be some element of cash involved.
A lot of it the best thing you can think of is competition. So you have an annual competition for people who are part of the program, and they compete in that competition. They can get $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 in funding. Whoever gets the biggest point, or has the most potential. That would be a way to fund students. But another idea would be like certification. Students want to put something on their resume, right? So that would be another route that we went through. Yes.
I love the idea, by the way. I took basically exact same idea to a startup weekend. So we should talk after.
Okay.
I've kind of gone through that whole process of building a prototype.
Okay.
And something that's always come up when I've talked about this idea is the chicken and egg problem. And people have always consistently pointed out that the value lies within the people who are actually going to build it. So the risk has been that there's going to be too much ideas and not enough people willing to work on them. Maybe the university scene will be different. I was focused once you're outside of that and forming the teams, and that people have business ideas and then they want to connect with the people who are going to help them do it. We call it doers and dreamers. So like there's the dreamers and then like the people who will actually do it. So do you find, or do you think you'll run into that same problem, that you'll have too many people, hey, I got a great idea, and not enough people being like, I care enough about that idea to build it?
Yes, this happens.
Do you have a way around that?
That's a good thing.
It is. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. I mean, the university, keeping it the scope of university as opposed to a scope outside of university is different. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, students have full course loads. They're expected to finish their degree in 4 years. There's a lot of things. There's a lot to ask of people to commit. So I'm not sure even if this would work. I guess yes.
You can throw a recommendation in there. Well, like a person recommendation.
Right.
Sort of like a feedback
feedback. Like, you know, John was absolutely fantastic here. He was a great team member, and I want to do projects with him again.
Yeah.
You know, just a sort of social ego boost might be enough motivation for people to actually do things. Also, it's really good for a resume.
Yes.
I just quickly mention, I think there's, I don't know if they does it right still. There's a few, couple of students from actually there's a few. They did a similar thing called inter-carbon networks, as far as I can remember. As like a report on the work experience, like experiential learning, and which became like work integrated learning in as a tool, so like service learning, community service learning, and kind of thing. So I think they're kind of going to the similar thing, like they'll take students and ideas and everything, and then match them with placements in companies or something like that. Yeah, probably should check that out. Inter-carbon networks, I think.
Okay, I'll have to follow up with you. I'll follow up with you.
Yeah.
Excellent. So thank you so much.